last night briefly, we talked about this thing called resilience, bouncing back. We all need a little bounce now and then. And we talked about John 16:33, in the world you will have tribulation. Is there anybody here in the audience that's never had tribulation? Little or big, that's never been body slammed, that's never been disappointed, that's never been hurt and wounded, that's never been betrayed, that's never had a health diagnosis where you fear for your life, that's never had a close call or a tragic auto accident, that's never been in combat and has an IED go off and your best friend is killed. The reality is that in the world we have tribulation. Gratefully, Jesus said, but take courage, I've overcome the world. So that's the reality, the hope that is within us. But for the present moment, we have tribulation. And so the question is, how do we deal with that? And the answer is, we are all warriors. We're all at war. And so warriors fight. Warriors get wounded, regrettably but true. Warriors have to bounce back, this thing called resilience. And then after the fact, warriors fight again. We continue to fight for our families, fight for our freedom, fight for our faith. There are things worth fighting for in this world, and we are warriors, and that's what we do. So if you're going to be a warrior, and if you're going to fight this battle, some things I've written about related to resilience perhaps apply. First of all, if you know there's a battle coming, if you know there's a hurricane coming your way, you're going to prepare. And as you're preparing, you're going to do everything possible to develop the right spiritual reflexes so that you can deal with trauma properly in your life. You're going to develop your actions on contact. The Swiss philosopher Tournier said, you fall the way you lean. So let's make sure, brothers and sisters, we're leaning in the right direction so that when we fall into the arms of God. And we're able to hide under the shelter of His wings until the destruction passes by. And then this thing called resilience is the ability to bounce back after the fact, after trauma, after tragedy in our lives, whether it's 9/11 or a personal tragedy in our own lives, to be able to bounce back without getting stuck in the toxic emotions of guilt, false guilt, anger, bitterness, which hold us captive for days and decades in our lives. And being able to loosen our grip on all of that, and as we loosen our grip, we gain new life in Christ. God will transform us. God will not help us forget that tragedy, but God will help us view it through His lens, through His purpose, through His meaning, through new calling, through being able to sing a new song. And that's what resilience is all about.